Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video we're going to be doing some meal prep, making a few things for the week, and I'm going to show you what we're going to make, so stay tuned. Pork chop recipe in the crock pot. There are 8 thick cut pork chops in here. The recipe for this is going to be coming out the first week in June because I'm making some recipe videos to be releasing while I'm out of town, along with my vlogs I'll be doing every day of my workouts and what I eat. So every Monday I'll release a new recipe, and this will be the first one. So that's part of my meal prep. My second thing I'm making is some blueberry muffins with my freeze-dried blueberries from the Southern Keto Cookbook. And then in the Instant Pot, I've got some chicken thighs cooking that I'm going to use tomorrow for a recipe that's coming out Friday. I'm going to be making some enchiladas. So I'm just cooking that chicken ahead of time to put it in the fridge so I can shred it up and use it. And right now I'm going to finish up these blueberry muffins. So right now I'm sifting 1.5 cups of almond flour into this bowl. I've got my almond flour, my baking powder, my salt in here, and my sweetener. I used Swerve, and whisked it together a little bit. And now my wet mixture, I've got 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of sour cream, a 1/4 cup of blueberries, some vanilla, and that's it. Yeah, and I'm mixing all this together with the dry ingredients, and I'm going to put those in my muffin cups and cook them 10 to 12 minutes. This recipe is from, like I said, Southern Keto Cookbook, so I will look for it on Amazon and link it down below. You're going in the oven at 350. Alright, so here's the muffins. These smell delicious, you guys. So I made these mostly for my husband. I will probably have a couple of them because they're not high in carbs. Net carbs are only, let me look at the recipe for you guys. Now here's the carbs. So focus. There we go. Net carbs is only 3.8 per muffin, but total carbs is 6.6. So if you're doing total carbs, you definitely only want to have 1. But if you're doing net carbs, you could probably have, you can have 1 or 2, depending on how many carbs you want to use for your breakfast. Or if you have stuff with it or whatever. But I'm fine with having 1 at the 6.6 and then having like some sausage or bacon with it if I'm having it as a breakfast, or it can just be like a snack with a cup of coffee in the afternoon or something like that. Because I've been trying to keep my meals very, 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 very low carb, as you know. And so anyways, my husband's going to really enjoy these for breakfast. Alright, so the other thing that we are meal prepping is hard-boiled eggs. So I have almost a dozen, not quite, in here, and I've got a cup of water in the bottom. I'm gonna put the lid on. I'm gonna cook these 5 minutes on the manual setting, and then 5 minutes on the slow release, and then put them in the ice water for 5 minutes. So easy peasy, that's all there is to it for easy peel hard-boiled eggs that we can eat on during the week to go with our blueberry muffins. Okay, so now I have browned up a pound or one of those tubes of sausage. I'm going to be using this to make some sausage balls, keto sausage balls in a little while. So I'm going to drain the fat off of this on a plate with a paper towel and go shred some cheese. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so this is the other thing I'm doing. I'm shredding a block of cheese and cheddar, and I use a salad shooter to shred my cheese. If I I can show you it. It was passed down to us by my mother-in-law. I don't have a food processor because I use my Ninja and I use for other things, but and I do a lot of things by hand. But this is what I use to shred cheese with. It works really well. If I don't have my Thrive Life cheese, this is what I do. I get my Aldi block cheese and I shred it, a bunch of it at a time, to use for recipes, which is what I'm doing this morning. Okay, so now that I have let my sausage cool off, it's been in the refrigerator, I'm going to get my recipe to go. This is the recipe that I use. There are many out there. I've seen that some of you guys use a recipe where you don't cook the sausage first, which that's fine too. That works just fine. This is the way I like to do it. I have to drain off some of the fat because my husband has this thing about, when you reheat stuff, the fat oozing out or whatever. So that's why I did that. Anyways, so I've got my oven preheating to 375, and I'm going to mix all my stuff together and then get them made into balls and put on a cookie sheet. And then the recipe says it makes 36. I don't know how they get 36 out of this, and mine are probably bigger than theirs, so I usually double what this says for macros, but we'll see how many I get this time. Which has got my sour cream, salt, eggs, melted butter mixed together. Then I added my coconut flour, and now I've added my cheese, also my baking powder. Now I'm going to add in the sausage and get them made into balls and put them on a cookie sheet. Okay, so I've got the mixture all ready to go. Now I'm going to put them into, I like to use like an ice cream scoop to do it because I can keep them even on my cookie sheet. So let me grab that. So I just go in here, just kind of make sure it's in a ball, and I do that until I use up all of the mixture. We'll see how many I get. And then if I feel like one is too small, I'll add to it. But most of the time I don't have to add because they're pretty much even if I use this. This is a great recipe. I usually eat 2 or 3 of them depending on how many macros I have for the, what I'm doing that day, what I'm eating, where I'm going, yada yada. These are really great in the summer when I'm on the go because these are good cold or hot, and you can just grab them and go, throw them in a Ziploc bag, and head out the door with your coffee. So that's what I like about these. Getting these all in there. Oh, my hair is just trying to take a ride. Good thing it's my food, right? All right. Get the rest of these on here and I'll show you guys what they look like when they're done. Okay, I was able to get 24. So like I said, I don't ever get 36. I mean, I guess if I made them a little bit smaller, but then they'd be pretty tiny because I like them to be, these are bite size. So adjust as according to the, what it says for the macros, because they're really low anyway. So even if you have 3 of them and they're just a little bit bigger, I usually just double the carb amount per bite or per sausage puff or roll or whatever you call them. I'm going to stick these in the oven and let them cook at 375. All right, they're all done and ready to go for us to eat on for a few days. Yeah, I love these. They always taste so good. Okay, y'all, so next on the agenda, I'm making some bone broth in my Instant Pot, my larger one, my 8 quart. I've got bones here in the bottom. Let me show you. I have a mixture of bones. So this time I didn't buy my bones. If you have bones left over from any meal, save them in your freezer in a Ziploc bag. I've got T-bones, I've got chicken, I've got some pork bones in here. And that's going to give you the best flavor if you have a mixture. I've also got celery, carrot, and onions, garlic, bay leaf, a couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, some pink salt, and some black pepper, and garlic cloves. So I'm going to cover this with water and cook it in my Instant Pot for 120 minutes. And then I let it cool. Take the lid off, let it cool, and then I take all the vegetables and bones out, strain it, and put it in jars. And I'll show you guys that later. Alright, y'all, so here is the bone broth. I'm straining it. I've been sneezing, so sorry if I sound weird. I put a piece of cheesecloth in a colander, which is sitting over a pot, and then I strain it through this to get, because sometimes when you do mixed bones, there's little bits of bones, and you don't want to get that into your broth. You don't want to swallow it. So I'm straining out all the liquid, and then this way I can pull all this out and just toss it if I want to. In the past, also things I've done is I've separated the bones and I've kept the veggies, so that if I wanted to make like beef stew for my family, you can do that and just throw it in a freezer bag, because it's perfectly fine to throw in a stew. But for me, I don't usually save the carrots or whatnot, because I'm trying to save carbs, you know. But anyways, this is how I strain my broth, and I will show you what it looks like in the jars. So when I'm done, it's still draining, but I wanted to show you guys that you can just, that way you can lift up this and throw it, just toss it. And that way you've gotten all that out of there. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this meal prep video and it was helpful to you. Please like and subscribe down below, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.